In this recording, I will take you through an update of Lunar Capital, in particular our investment performance, our views on the market, and where we are invested in. So we always start with this slide, which is required by the regulators, so that you understand that we are not firstly providing you with any advice, and importantly that you should take care in whatever investments that you should do. But importantly for us, we also want to tell you that we are regulated by the Financial Services Conduct Authority in South Africa. So we are a regulated entity and not just some fly-by-night. So let's take a quick look at our business in numbers. We manage approximately 180 million rands of assets under management in two products, which is the Lunar BCI Worldwide Flexible Fund, where we have invested 147 million of our own money as well as of our clients' monies. Then we also have a number of clients, 11 of them in total, for whom we manage an offshore portfolio, which are in the individual names, and that has a total of 32 million rands in investments. Obviously, the offshore portfolio is 100% invested offshore, but importantly, the flexible fund is 63% offshore, providing the person in the street to be able to invest offshore quite easily. So let's take a quick look at our performance, and I'll give you the 1, 3, 5, and 7 years. We've been in existence for over 7 years, so that's great. And in 7 years, we've returned 77% to our investors if they were with us from the beginning, giving them an 8.5% return per annum. Over a 5-year period, almost 60% at almost 10% per annum return. In the 3-year period, approximately 9.33%, a total return of approximately 31%. And fantastically, in this last year, we had a 25.5% return over this last year. So that's quite significant. Now, the important thing is that for us, we think that the longer term is the more important indicator of our true capabilities. And in the long term, we have been certainly in the 5 and the 7 year, we are in the top quartile, of the categories in our fund, and we've provided a return which is above inflation. We have approximately 170 clients, as I told you, 11 of them offshore. And importantly, we in Lunar Capital, myself, including all of my directors and our staff, are all invested in the Lunar BCI Worldwide Flexible Fund. So basically, we eat our own cooking and we align our interest with our clients. So how did we achieve our returns? So basically, we are guided by our investment philosophy, which is growth at a reasonable price. So basically, we look for opportunities where there's growth, but we make sure that we don't overpay for that. So in other words, we want to make sure that these are valued correctly. So the process that we follow is basically to try and identify which sectors can provide growth. Okay, so for example, in our view, the technology and the biotechnology spaces currently provide significant opportunities for growth because of the kind of innovations that are taking place in the semiconductor industry, supporting both data management as well as artificial intelligence growth. Okay, and obviously, as more and more things get online, cybersecurity and cloud companies also provide significant areas of growth. So there, for example, we are invested in Microsoft, Amazon, NVIDIA, which is a chip manufacturer, ASML, a Dutch-based company, which develops the lithography, for developing, smaller and smaller chips. In cybersecurity, we are invested in Palo Alto Networks. In the biotechnology space, we currently are invested in the obesity and diabetes space with Novo Nordisk, as well as with Eli Lilly. And these are significant growth opportunities. There's some statistics that say, a high percentage, something like 40% of American people are obese, and many of them have started using the drugs provided by Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. We also like the trends that millennials are setting in the leisure and the kind of values that they have. So how they prefer to buy, the experiences that they want to have, and we think the stamp that they make on the market provide a significant opportunity for us, to identify certain growth sectors there. Importantly, we also try to stick to our competencies. So, there might be other areas of growth, but if we don't understand that, we don't really want to be invested in that. We think of ourselves, secondly, as people that own businesses rather than trade stocks or macro strategies. So in other words, we want to be invested, we want to be owning companies that are there, for the long term, and that provide us, provide a significant competitive advantage against, their competitors, or other companies in their industry. So those are the kind of businesses that we would like to own. So we think of ourselves as owners of businesses rather than as traders of stocks. Okay, and that's why we like to think long term. So it's important then that we actually think strategically and actually allocate the funds that we have, in the fund, as well as those that we manage, for offshore portfolio clients. We like to think of it of how we allocate that strategically, and I'll take you through that a little bit just now as well. Okay, and importantly, what we find again is that we see great opportunities where others see risk. So recently, for example, there was the small banking crisis in the US, and that gave us a significant opportunity to start investing, for example, in a company like JP Morgan, because they would benefit from the crisis that's taking place in the small banks. Okay. Similarly, we invested in a company called UBS that is also invested. That is a Swiss-based banking company that we are invested in because of the problems with one of their largest competitors. So that's the process that we follow. Okay, and this shows you basically the allocation strategy in the Lunar BCI Worldwide Flexible Fund. 63% of it is invested offshore and 37% locally. And you can see that what we have is about 52% is in what we call large cap, high quality or blue chip companies. Okay, companies like Berkshire Hathaway, ASML, Nvidia, Walmart, Novo Nordisk that we mentioned, Microsoft, Amazon, JP Morgan that we also mentioned. Okay. And then approximately 21% is in mid-cap and small-cap companies. So companies that we see, have an opportunity to grow faster than the overall market. But obviously these come with slightly higher risk, and the higher risk, that we take, we basically hope to be able to earn higher levels of return, with those companies. You can see currently we are 27% invested in cash and bonds, and in that 27%, that's a strong indication of our conservative view at this particular point in time, because we feel that there's opportunities out there, and some industries and some companies are overvalued in our opinion, and we're looking for the opportunity to be able to invest in those companies when the valuations look like they are worth investing in as well. So for our clients for whom we manage the offshore portfolio model, offshore portfolios, we run that as a model portfolio. Okay, and basically in the model portfolio, we've basically allocated funds in approximately between 35 to 45% in large cap, high quality companies, 25 to 35% in technology companies, and then in regional or themes, for example, specific industry themes in ETFs, approximately between 20 to 25%. So for example, regional, if we like Japan as an investment or India as an investment, then we could buy certain ETFs in that market which gives us exposure to that particular market. And at the moment, we're sitting with cash. The model basically indicates a cash and bond position of between 5 to 15%. It's closer to 15%, in some cases higher at this particular point in time for some of our individual clients. So to conclude, I would like to remind you of our strategy, right? This is encapsulated in our byline, which is learn, invest, enjoy. Okay, so learn. Why do we say learn? Okay, we think of ourselves as evangelists for investing, and we like to share our insights. So for example, we've produced a number of blogs on topical issues, on training-related issues. We have a weekly stock take that Danielle, our investment analyst, writes, and that gets produced on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. That gives you a particularly good view of what happened in the markets in the week before, and maybe a specific take on a particular stock, that we may or may not like. Okay, it's not advice, but it's certainly just trying to give you our view. I also have a radio interview every Tuesdays. At a community station. We have a recording of that on our website as well, so you can access that. And obviously this quarterly investment review is also part of what we like to do. We've also run multiple family wealth building workshops using our concept of a family balance sheet. If you're interested in that, just send us an email, and we will certainly be able to share that with you, and maybe even take you through that. Okay. And we've also had a youth league running for a couple of years, where we've taken a number of youth into the basics of investing, not to become super investors, but certainly to be able to understand the basics of that. Obviously, investment is our key thing, so that's the second part of our strategy, which we have the 2 products, and they're basically in the fund. It's available to any individual investor, or even if you're through a company. You basically can invest in rands, and it could be a minimum of 1,000 rands a month, or a lump sum of a minimum of 10,000 rand, and you can do a combination of that as well. Okay. If you want to utilize our direct offshore portfolio management service, basically you would need to have a minimum of 500,000 rand to be able to invest, in this, in that portfolio, and we can take you through the process, of what we could do there. And enjoyment, is really, why do we do this? We really, feel passionately about impacting people's financial well-being. And many of our people in our various communities have not been exposed to investing, and we see ourselves as evangelists for that. So we want to increase the knowledge of investing and the importance of investing. And certainly, if our clients and we reap the rewards of our investments, that brings a lot of joy. Okay, so we'd like to leave that, as a legacy, what we do. And at the end of the day, we love investing. We love understanding business models and how they can disrupt or make money, and use that love and that knowledge, to be able to impact people's lives. So thank you. From our side, this is a brief kind of overview of how we've performed and our investment strategy and our business strategy. You can reach us on our website. It's up there on the screen. www.lunarcapital.co.za. You can reach us on info@lunarcapital.co.za, and or you can phone us at 083 305 7860. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me.